One day, after having 6 cups of coffee, I was experiencing the negative effects of it. My high was wearing off, and I was feeling irritated, jittery, anxious, with extremely negative thoughts about the future. My body was exhausted, but I couldn't sleep because some caffeine was still in my system. I felt like a zombie. That night, I decided I'm quitting caffeine forever. And here I am, back to having my cup of coffee again because I quitting caffeine. Because now I know that even though I'm addicted to caffeine, I am addicted to it in a good way. So, what changed? Well, instead of hammering the nail from the same direction, that is to look up on the internet or ChatGPT for ways to quit caffeine and get some lame solutions, I looked at the problem from a different angle. I looked at the source of caffeine. Why did nature create such a powerful substance? And I got the answer I was looking for. Okay, so let's dive deep into the subject. So, the first reason why plants produce caffeine is to protect themselves from the insects. You see, plants like tea and coffee have a high amount of caffeine in their leaves. So, when any insects come and eat their leaves, their central nervous system gets overstimulated to such an extent that it leads to death. And it makes sense because a lot of people have died due to the overconsumption of caffeine. And in today's time, when energy drinks and caffeinated pills are available so easily, we might easily overconsume caffeine. And what's the safe limit of caffeine? We'll find out later in this video. The second reason why plants produce caffeine is to prevent new plants to grow around them, which can compete with them for the nutrients from the soil. It does this through the leaves and seeds which fall into the ground. Now, since the leaves and seeds have a high amount of caffeine, it blocks the other plants from absorbing nutrients from it. And hence, any new plant don't even germinate, or if they germinate, they have a quick death because they are not able to absorb any nutrients from the soil. So that's the second characteristic of caffeine. It blocks the absorption of nutrient. And unfortunately, that is true for the human body too. Studies have shown that a high amount of caffeine in the body leads to excess excretion of calcium from our body, leading to weaker bones. Also, compounds in tea and coffee like tannins reduce the iron absorption, leading to fatigue and brain fog. It also blocks magnesium, which is responsible for you having deep sleep and a proper recovery. So remember, while having caffeine might make you feel stronger, you're actually getting weaker in the long run. The third reason why plants produce caffeine is to reproduce aggressively through pollination. You see, when bees come and suck the caffeinated nectar from these plants, they don't die like insects. And that's because the plants reduce the amount of caffeine in the nectar to such an extent that it only gives a mild high for the bees and makes them alert so that they can remember the same plant and come back to it again and again. And hence, these plants can reproduce aggressively. Now that's insane because the substance remains the same, and just with the change in the dosage, the results are mind-bogglingly different. So how did I use this information to come up with a plan that actually worked for me? Firstly, caffeine can be fatal, or at least is detrimental to our health because it hinders the absorption of nutrients. But at the same time, it also has some health benefits, like it is rich in antioxidants. So instead of totally quitting caffeine, I decided to limit my caffeine intake to 200 milligrams per day. And this is the safe range of caffeine intake for most people. And this is how much caffeine each of these popular items contain. You can take a screenshot of this. Secondly, in nature, bees have to earn their caffeine by flying long distances for the nectar and then deposit the nectar responsibly where they are supposed to. In short, bees earn their caffeine and then use it productively. And I also applied the same principle in my life. So instead of waking up to a cup of coffee, now I earn it. Meaning I have to drink a glass of warm water, do some chores, some stretches, and get ready for gym. And only then I get to have my coffee. And I have to work out for at least 45 minutes so that it gets used productively. So that's the second rule, to earn it and to use it wisely. Okay, so I have set a dosage limit and a specific intention to have caffeine, but still there was one problem left. You see, the first time I had an energy drink fully caffeine loaded, it felt amazing. I felt I was on top of the world and I could achieve anything. It gave me the energy boost that I needed. But gradually, my body developed a tolerance for it, which meant that now I started having caffeine just to feel normal. I had stopped getting the boost which was needed. And again, I went back to nature for an answer. And one day, as I was looking out of the window, I realized that being a Mumbaiker, I love the initial rains in the month of June, just after the scorching heat in the month of May. It just feels magical. But will it feel that magical if it rained throughout the year? The answer is a definite no. And fortunately or unfortunately, caffeine works the same. It works and it only feels powerful when it is cycled. So I came up with this solution. I will have up to 200 milligrams of caffeine on heavy work days, never more than 2 days in a row. And it should be followed by low or no caffeine days. And weekends, strictly caffeine free. That way, every dose feels like the first, a true high that fuels real productivity. And that's how I reversed engineered the solution to my caffeine addiction. If any point resonated with you, use it and create your own plan to quit caffeine or get addicted to caffeine in a good way. Or if you think that what I spoke didn't make sense to you, let me know in the comment section why you think so, because this channel is for the thinkers. Keep thinking, keep progressing. I'll see you in the next one.